Whether you're thinking about buying a home or selling a home,
Trish Sells ATL can help.
with the current Atlanta real estate market, buyer and seller opportunities are better than ever.
Thank y'all so much, but I'll take it from here. Sellers, this is your market. It's time for you to get off of that fence and put your home on the market and get it sold to my buyers who are waiting for you to list your home. I'd love to earn your business, so please give Trish a call at Keller Williams Realty Buckhead, 404-604-3800, or text or call 404-819-4495. Please also visit my website at TrishSellsATL.com. Let's talk about how I can assist you with achieving your real estate goals and making your dreams a reality.
List your house with our mommy at TrishSellsATL.com.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Weekly Real Estate Chronicles with Trish Sells ATL. I am Trish, licensed realtor here in the Atlanta market. I have been a licensed realtor for July makes 13 years. Yay! Where I have been in this challenging, hectic, fruitful real estate market. So welcome to our Wednesday weekly real estate update. We're playing with the names. So last week I had Real Estate Confidential, and I would love to kind of get your feedback as we are kind of going through these titles with the weekly real estate update. You know, we want to bring you something fresh. We want to bring you something new. We want to bring you something that resonates with your spirit. So just give us that good feedback. We are live on Instagram. We are live on YouTube. And of course, we are live on Facebook. If you have not already, if this is your first time here, I need you to tag, like, and share. If you don't necessarily need this information, but you know somebody who does, please tag them. I need you to like our Facebook page. I need you to like and follow our Facebook page and turn on your notifications so that way when we go live and when we have different updates, we will, you'll be able to get the updates and the posts and all of that stuff. I need you to go to our Instagram page. What's going on, IG? Hey, Megan, you doing it, girl. I'm so proud of you. Okay. Follow us on Instagram. My handle is at Trish Sells ATL, at Trish Sells ATL. And I need you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yes, we are on YouTube as well. And if you just search Trish Sells Atlanta, all of our videos will pop up. We've been on YouTube for a while now. So that is the housekeeping business. I will put our email address up here as well. So as we are going through our update for today, if you have, any questions or concerns, if you want to be added to our mailing list, you can send us an email at info@TrishSellsATL.com. Trish said info at TrishSellsATL.com. It's on the screen on Facebook and YouTube, not on Instagram. So Instagram is, if you want me to put it in the comments, just let me know and we will get the information to you. So what's up, y'all? What's going on? We got another week of this hectic real estate in the ATL. Let me tell y'all something, just a little bit about me, especially if this is your first time watching. When I was 6 months old, may have been a little older. I'm gonna have to get the story from my mom and my dad and then make an analysis to see when exactly did I arrive in the ATL. But I've been here for much longer than where I was actually born. I am a military brat. Yes, I'm representing with the fatigue today. But I have been in Atlanta ever since. I love Atlanta. I've called it my home, and I like to represent, my city. I went to the Benjamin Elijah Mays High School. Mays High, stand up. Yes and yes. So I always represent, because that's how you can tell a true ATLian, y'all. Ask them, what high school did you go to? If it's not an Atlanta public school, that's your key. So just a little, A-Town wisdom for you for today as we move along to talk about, this real estate market. I get tons of questions, navigating this market with my buyers, with potential sellers. And so I jump on here every week so that I can give you guys not only the tea, but we got the juice, because we're out here in the trenches in this real estate market. So first things first, let me go ahead and share my screen so that you can take a look at our newsletter for this week. I like to have this newsletter as our focal point, simply because when I am doing, the news, this is basically what I'm telling you guys. When we have updates for the week, I normally on Sunday night, I start dissecting them, and then on Monday, pulling it all together. If you do not have the honor and the privilege of receiving this weekly update, please email us at info@trishsalesatl.com and say, hey, Trish, I would love to be a part, of your mailing list. So that way you're getting this information up to the minute, and you will have it. And so I take what we have and I expound on it. I explain, because a lot of times when you're reading a newsletter, you may have questions. You may not have an opportunity to, send me an email or give me a call. So that's why we kind of dissect it on our live. And so here are the numbers for this week. We had 170 new listings this week. I compile these numbers every Monday. So for this week alone, we had 170 new listings. And so we also had 241 new contracts, y'all. 241 new contracts. I was in the process of pulling over the numbers from last week, and I didn't know it was going to show up on this screen. But anywho, we'll go back to our numbers, and then I'll pull up last week so that we can compare. And then this week we have 101 closings scheduled. So 170 new listings, 241 new contracts, and 101 closings, y'all. The real estate market in the ATL is booming, but we know this because I have been seeing on so many message boards. I have been seeing news alerts. I've just been seeing everything where y'all are just like, what is wrong with this market? What is going on? So that's why I am on here every week to answer your questions concerning the market, because I know and I understand it's a lot to navigate. Definitely, I get it. That's why I'm here. That's why I've been in the business as long as I have been, you guys, because I do enjoy speaking to you guys about the real estate market. And so let me get my screen back up because it disappeared. Right? That's technology for us, y'all. And I got 3 different screens going, so I'm here. So last week, let's look at the numbers. It was 209 new listings. We're going to do a side by side. So last week, this over here. This is 531. So last week, it was 209 listings that hit the market. Only 170 new listings hit the market this week. Last week, there were 348 new contracts that were written. This week, it was only 241. Last week was 195 closings. This week, it was only 101. So I'll do a little bit of explaining this. Typically, the last day of the month, we have the most closings. We try to get everybody in on by that last day. Because that affects, your closing costs, because of the length of time you have owned the property for that month. It's the last day, so it's not as much. And so that's why you see kind of like the influx of the 195 closings. And then, of course, at the end of the month, people were trying to, get under contract, because typically between May and August, those are our busiest months. People are moving around. They're trying to get their kid in another school. So we have a lot of things going on. So that's why you see these new contracts, because people are jumping on it when they see a house. Because of the low inventory, they're jumping on it, because look at the sheer fact that the number of new contracts is completely higher than the new listings. And so it's almost like the listings don't really have a chance to hit the market before they become under contract. And that is what is happening in this Atlanta market. So I just wanted to compare numbers from last week to this week as promised, so that you all can get an analysis and just a detailed view of what the market is currently doing. I get tons of questions about this market. And so I want to dispel any myths, any untruths. So if you have some questions, if you've heard something, feel free to put it in the comments. Put your questions, and I'm going to type that in. Put your questions in the comments, so that way we can get them answered. And if I don't have an answer for you today, I will have an answer for you soon. So moving on from the numbers, as you can see, it's still thriving, still hustling and flowing in this Atlanta market. And the video from last week, if you missed us last week, you want to check it out, see what we talked about on last week. It is on YouTube. So as I said earlier, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is my dog, Bentley. Welcome him to the show, y'all. But subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Trish Sales Atlanta. I also have your weekly mortgage update. And this is for Masters Home Loans. If you need the link to actually contact Masters Home Loan, I can get that to you. So no worries on that. Just put in the comments, or I'll get it in the comments so that I can put the link on there. If you would like to apply, that is our featured loan officer for this week. And I'm going to get it on another screen. Let's see. For my lenders. Oh, there it is. And of course, I have more than one lender, y'all. But that's the one that is featured for this weekend. So I will copy it and I'll hit it in the chat, so that you can, if you would like to take the first steps of actually applying for a home loan, that would be the very first thing. When we have our buyer consultations, that's what I do. We sit down, I kind of analyze your need, and then we talk about your goals. We talk about, when you say, I want to live in this area, I want my child to attend this school, or I want to be in Midtown. I just want to live the life of, Buckhead. That's what I'm listening to. And from that point, depending on your situation, I try to pair you with a few different lenders. And I have a few that I do work with. And so I put the link to our featured lender for this week in the chat. So if you just want to kind of see where you are, Reginald Masters, he's a mortgage broker. Been working with him for years. He is phenomenal. Closed plenty of deals with him. So if you have any questions or, just about the home buying process, click that link. Both of our information comes up, his telephone number. So you can go from there. Congrats to one of my buyers who will be living in a Buckhead condo. And T-minus, what's today, y'all? It is what day of the month? He'll be living in a Buckhead condo, and T, which is 30, minus 9 days, y'all. So give it up. We're so proud of him. In about 21 days, he will be a home owner. This is an actual view from his window. It is amazing. It is amazing. So happy for him. He's a first-time home buyer. So please let that encourage you. I know what you have been hearing, but understand this is what is really happening. What you see on this screen right now, this is what is happening. So congratulations to my buyer. We are through with the inspection. The inspection came back great. And we are moving on. Should you rent or buy? So I released this marketing piece this week, and I got a lot of feedback on it. And so I just wanted to peruse through it as well. Should you rent or buy? And then we have the questions. The first one says, are you planning to stay for more than 5 years? So when you're making this decision, should I rent? Should I buy? Should I rent or should I buy? Are you planning to stay for more than 5 years? If your answer is yes, then you move on to the next question, which is, are you at a financially stable position? So that's the next question that you ask yourself. Are you at a financially stable position, right? So if your answer is no, the chart says that you should continue to rent. But if you are at the yes position, the next question says, can your budget handle mortgage, taxes, maintenance, and other costs? So if you answer yes to that, then this chart says that you, my friend, are ready to buy. However, when you answer the question of can your budget handle mortgage, taxes, maintenance, and other costs, if you answer that question as no, then it looks like you may need to rent a little longer. And so we can go back to the very first question, which says, are you planning to stay for more than 5 years? If your answer is no, then you ask yourself the question, can your budget handle mortgage, taxes, maintenance, and other costs? If your answer is no, then my friends, you should continue to rent. However, if your budget can handle it, even if you're not planning to stay for 5 years, then the chart says that yes, you should buy. And so that's a complete breakdown of some very common questions that people may have when it comes to asking yourself that question, should you rent or should you buy? If you would like this marketing piece, I think I had it up, but I changed to YouTube because I want you guys to subscribe. But if you would like this marketing piece, if you want me to send it to you, please email us at info@trishsalesatl.com, and you can just make a chart. Get a sheet of paper, should you rent or buy, and list those questions down and kind of sit down and really think about what your thought process should be. Even if you don't plan to stay for 5 years, you could become a landlord or an investor. And so that's why, even though you may not be staying, but your budget can handle the mortgage, taxes, maintenance, and other costs, it may be still a good idea for you to buy. And Trish Sales Atlanta works with buyers, sellers, and investors alike. So we can definitely still assist you on your real estate journey. Okay, moving on to buyers having a tough time getting under contract. This is the thing that I probably hear the most. This is the obstacle. This is the objection. This is the thorn in the side for every single buyer who is out here now. How do you know, Trish? Because I'm working with buyers. I also work with sellers, and we'll get into the seller segment shortly after we complete this. But buyers, you do have options. In this market, it is challenging you to become creative when it comes to having to purchase this home. A lot of buyers, you've been getting outbid. You hear that a lot. You see a property, it has one house. I sent it to one of my potential sellers, and she got a kick out of it because we were having a conversation about putting it as a coming soon. And so this house was placed on the market as coming soon. it had not even hit the market, y'all, where our listings go from coming soon to officially on the market. So during the coming soon period, the house cannot be shown. That's the real estate rule, okay? And so you can list the house as coming soon. People can look at all the pictures. They can Google Gaga over it. That seller had 112 blind offers, sights unseen, you guys. They had 112 blind offers on a coming soon property. So, with me understanding that this is the nature of the market, we have a few resources that can help you get in front of these sellers and in front of these 100 plus offers. And so one of them is a program called Ribbon. I was actually on a webinar with Ribbon before I did my live. And so what Ribbon is, it is only for buyers who have been pre-approved. You have to have a pre-approval letter from your mortgage company in hand. This is a program that is very new and it's very one of a kind, but it's to help and assist you guys by backing you with a cash offer so that when the sellers see your offer, it's going to be moved to the top of the stack. Cash is king right now for sellers. They're getting the pick of the litter. It is a seller's market. So my job is to advise you of available resources that can get you under contract. And Ribbon has been extremely successful. So if you have a pre-approval letter, we put your information in. Ribbon, I was getting ready to say another resource name. But Ribbon reviews your pre-approval letter. They contact your lender and they determine your buying power. Your lender says, hey, they're good to go, then they're good to go. And so they issue out the amount. It should be in alignment with what's on your pre-approval letter, right? Okay, so then they give you the ability, or give me the ability to put together a cash offer. And so once we put that together, you sign it, we present this cash offer to the seller. Now, the money that you have to pay up front with Ribbon for them backing you as a cash offer, and let's say you do this. They back you as a cash offer. You get to the closing table. You use your lender. You switch out your financing. You end up using your lender. Their fee is 1% of the purchase price. Now, if you decide to go with Ribbon all the way and they actually use their cash, their fee becomes 3% at that point. So you do have options, especially if you have cash in the bank, but you haven't been successful with getting your offer in front of a seller. And they typically close between 14 and 30 days. So if you're in a hurry, this would be a perfect program for you. They also have a rescue aspect. Let's say that you're in the middle of a loan and something comes up and all of a sudden you can't go forward with your approval because the underwriter has a condition that you can't meet. Well, you can get with Ribbon. They can do a rescue deal, purchase the house. You'll still have to pay that 3%. However, it will give you some time to work out the odds and ends of perhaps you not being able to get that condition approved with your underwriting. And then you can go back at it once you can and purchase the house from Ribbon. Ribbon only allows you 6 months to buy the house back. The whole purpose of this is to basically arm buyers with a cash offer to get them in front of the seller. So they can either back it with the cash, and then the seller can they can back it with cash, and then you can change the financing, and that has to be agreeable, y'all. You just can't run in there and do the okie doke. It don't work like that. Everything has to be agreed upon because we're dealing with legal contracts here. And so if they're fine with that, that's fine. Or if you end up using Ribbon, you can buy the house back on the 31st day after they purchase it. So you may have to go 1 month where you're actually renting it from them and then you buy it back. But these are just creative ways to get you the house that you want. I know even if I'm going to rent something, I want to rent what I want. So this just puts you in a better position to get creative, get a cash offer together to get the house that you want, even if you have to rent it, for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, but 6 months is the maximum. It's a great program, y'all. And it definitely put buyers in a better position. We talked about Divvy, and we talked about Divvy before. I put the qualifications in the newsletter. And so with Divvy, they actually give buyers 5 years to purchase the home. And so you will have, a lease. It will be an escalating lease. So, the price gets higher every year. And that is to encourage you to go ahead and buy it. So they're basically encouraging you in the reverse by hitting your pockets to make you hurry up and buy this house. But if you've already been pre-approved, then your goal was to purchase anyway. So the least amount of time that you can live in a Divvy home, I believe, is 60 days. So you don't have to stay there forever. But you also have some people who meet these qualifications for Divvy, which are the minimum FICO has to be 550. You have to have 6 months of stable employment. You have to have a maximum debt to income ratio of up to 50%, including your potential Divvy home payment, no evictions in the previous year, and no bankruptcy in the past year. So those are the qualifications for Divvy. And for those of you who want to look at this while I'm talking, I just thought to put it in the chat. So forgive my brain. But those are the requirements for Divvy. I put the newsletter in the chat if you want to take a look at it as well. So they also do a credit check. Yes, they do a credit check. They do a criminal background check. And they look at court records. So that's just to let you guys know what is going on, with these resources, with getting creative, with putting you guys in a position to where you can present a cash offer. Divvy 2, they will present a cash offer to the seller, and then you will work out the lease purchase details between yourself and Divvy, since Divvy would be the official buyers. Our last program and resource that we have is the Home Partners of America. So with Home Partners of America, pretty much set up the same way as Divvy. They have pretty much the same qualifications. However, I think with Home Partners of America, you have to have a 580 to qualify for their program. You have to have a 580. But pretty much works the same way. Home Partners of America, they pre-qualify you. Once you're pre-qualified, you have the ability to then put in a cash offer for a property. They do the inspection. They do everything. I've worked with both Divvy and Home Partners of America and Ribbon. So these are all great programs, when you are a buyer and you're trying to get creative. Yes, it is going to cost you money to use this program, y'all. Nothing in life is free. And if it's free, I want you to really think long and hard on that thing that you are receiving that someone said is free. And this is just free game, me keeping it very real with you, because anytime that you're going to use a resource, it is going to cost you. It's not going to be free. However, I advise people to make sure that you get through. If you are already pre-approved, it's no reason why you should not be owning their home within 30 to 60 days if you use this program. There's no reason why, because the whole goal was home ownership anyways. And so even though you use this as a resource, you don't continue to rent something that you were going to purchase anyway, because that's not doing anything but depleting your closing costs, depleting your down payment money. So you jump in there, get creative, use this resource, and then you buy back your house. You don't have the competition of 1,100,000 offers. All it is you and the buyer, you and the funding that you purchased the house. You buying it from Divvy, you buying it from Home Partners of America, you buying it from Ribbon. So there's really no excuse at that point for you to not purchase your home. So this is just us being creative. Now, I do have some clients who they may have to take this route and lease for, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. That's perfectly okay. I'm really talking and speaking to my already pre-approved clients who have a letter in hand when I'm saying that within 30 to 60 days, because I understand you have to recoup those fees, right? within 30 to 60 days, you are going to have to go ahead and purchase that house. You don't have the competition of other buyers, any of that stuff. Now, I do have buyers that come to me and say, Trish, I want to buy, but I need to rent for a little while first. My credit is decent, but I may have to get another credit card. I need a trade line. I need something to increase my score. So I do have potential home buyers that utilize these programs too, but they already know up front, okay, I know I'm going to have to pay this money. I'm getting my credit together, but I want to find something that I like. That's perfectly fine. Okay, it's no judgment, no heat here. You know, everybody has been somewhere. Everybody has not been fortunate to come out the gate and, you know, they're purchasing a house. That is education that is kind of given when you're younger. And so when you're not given that, or you're not given the full plan on how to achieve that, you may not have had an opportunity to, you know, come out the gate and purchase in a home. But as your real estate resource, that's why I'm here, to give you options, to put you in a position, to put you in the driver's seat, to make an informed decision about your situation, your credit, your family, and your future. I'm your guide. I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm rooting you all the way along. So that is my 2 cents. And here is my chart for the home buying process. I released this online too, y'all. Normally only my clients get this, but I released some free game this week. I was feeling generous. I was feeling generous. So just a little overview of the home buying process. For those of you who do not know, on here it says select a real estate agent. And I'm going to tell you why this has it on here too. And I have clients who come to me where they have already gotten their lenders. And because I have great relationships with my various lenders, they end up sending them to me to become their realtor. Well, this chart starts at select a real estate agent simply because we are the glue that holds the entire transaction together. So normally when you select your real estate agent, I'm going to put you in touch with the lender. The lender is the catalyst, the vehicle, the person that kind of gets this transaction started. They let us know your financial capability. And so from there, that's how we start rocking and rolling and looking for a home. So that's why select a real estate agent is first. So that's why I always tell you guys and ask you, who do you know that I should know? So that way I can put them in the driver's seat, get them connected to the lender so that we can get this party started. And as a realtor, I'm a full-time agent. So I'm a full service agent as well, which means I have lenders, I have inspectors, I have contractors, I have closing attorneys, I have cleaning agencies. I mean, whatever you need, I can get you in contact with somebody. So that is, you know, one of the perks when you start off with a strong real estate agent. They should be able to put you in contact with whomever you may need concerning your real estate transaction. So after that, obtain financial approval, and that is when, you know, we get you in front of the lender. And so the next step says analyze your needs in a buyer consultation. That's flip-flop for me. When you contact me, and my buyers and my clients who I currently have and my past clients, they know I immediately set up a buyer consultation. And I do this because I'm assessing your needs. I'm talking to you. And if you have some challenges, I have lenders who may be more proficient in one area than the other. Therefore, I want to pair you with somebody who is going to meet your needs. And so then that's when you go to the lender, you fill out the application, the mortgage app, have to be truthful on your mortgage app, put all your information on there, tell the truth. Okay, y'all? So from that point, after you do your, and the lender runs your application, you have to put all your information in. Usually you can't upload, you know, your documents. You're going to need your W-2 for last year. You're going to need your last tax return, your last 2 tax returns, actually. You're going to need your paycheck stubs, your last 2 if you're paid monthly. Your last 2 if you're paid, your last 4 if you paid weekly, your last 2 if you are paid semi-weekly or twice a month, and your last 2 if you've been paid monthly. So you're going to need that. You're going to need a copy of your photo ID. Yes, you're going to have to upload that into the system so that they can verify that it is you who they are speaking with. So once you get all that in, if all is well, the lender rolls out a pre-approval letter. Yes, they do, and we continue on this flow chart. Now, let's say for some strange reason, you're not able to get pre-approved at this time. If it's credit, yes, I have a credit specialist as well. She works solely with people. She's phenomenal. Her name is Brianna Savage. I'm going to have her on here one Wednesday. I will advertise it so that you guys can tune in. But she is phenomenal. And so she works solely with individuals who have credit challenges and they're trying to purchase a home. It's not fly by night. It's none of that. She works with you and she works for you. Now, if you get a pre-approval letter, your lender emails it to me and you, and I'm screaming, congratulations. You have been pre-approved to purchase a home. And that's when we schedule our buyer onboarding. So what is a buyer onboarding, guys? Let me tell you what that is. That is when we sign your buyer brokerage agreement and it's an actual document, because in the state of Georgia, you're really not supposed to show property if you don't have a buyer brokerage agreement and that person is not your client. So we sign it because we want to be compliant with the law. I don't like wearing orange. Cheese. Anywho, we sign it. The buyer brokerage agreement outlines my responsibility to you as the independent contractor who's representing you in this real estate transaction. And it also explains you, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, your responsibility to me. Yes, as a buyer, you have a responsibility to the real estate brokerage. You don't get to do whatever you want to do. It's in the contract. And that's why we go over that contract. And if you have any questions or concerns, we have other housekeeping documents that we sign. We sing Kumbaya, and now we are a whole team. And I welcome you to the Trish Sales ATL family, because I believe my clients become family. I'm going to treat you like family. Okay. And so from that point, we start selecting properties. I set up a portal for you. I know y'all like to go on Zillow and Realtor.com and all of that. Nothing's wrong with them, but they clone our information. So I want you to get it from the horse's mouth. I want you to get it as soon as the agent click submit. When they put it on the market, that's when I want you to get it, not 2 or 3 hours later. No shade, no tea. From that point, as a buyer, you start sending me your favorite properties, and then we set up your showings and we go and we look. I have a phenomenal buyer's agent, Nigel Burton, who is actually out showing right now. He was going to be on the live with me, but we had a buyer who she can only kind of look at property during her lunch break, because we're flexible, but during her lunch break or after 5. And so the lunch break was the best time for the buyer's agent to get out there. And so he is out showing. And we go and we look at property, and when you say, oh, Trish, this is the one, that's when I start writing your offer. So I write your offer, and some weeks, y'all, I'm going to be honest, I have written like 12 offers in 1 week, and only one was accepted in this market. And I would like to think that, being in the business for this long, I have a formula. However, we're working in a market that is very volatile. It's very challenging. The seller has certain expectations. And quite frankly, everybody can't meet those expectations. But they do keep trying, and I try to keep my buyers encouraged to keep trying, y'all. Hang in there. The tide will change. And when it's a buyer's market, I just, hope that humility is exercised on the selling end. And that's all I have for that. So once we write an offer and we negotiate and the seller is in agreement with our offer, and the buyer is agreed on, the seller, because sometimes the seller come back and say, well, I don't want to close with that closing attorney. The only thing I want to do is close with this one. That's their only request. We all have professional relationships, but if that's something that they want to do and it's negotiated and everybody agrees, hey, we keep pushing. And now we're under contract with a binding agreement date. And that binding agreement date is very important, because that's the date, that's the fixture that we base all our other dates on. And that's financial contingency, due diligence, inspection clauses, all of those things. And so we kind of go through the process. It's the 3 moving parts. It's the inspection, which is due diligence inspection. It's the financing contingency, which is your lender. And then it's title search and making sure there are no liens or encumbrances. And that's for the closing attorney. And we all work together. So now I'm working through 3 other vendors. And that's your lender, that's the inspector, and that's the closing attorney. And making sure that all of this comes together. So when that lender says we are clear to close, and the closing attorney says the title is clear, and you've had your inspection and you're at peace about it, then we can go to that closing table and you can receive your keys. And so that is a very brief synopsis of the home buying process. If you are in need of this document, please feel free to reach out to me at info@trishsalesatl.com, and I will send it to you. You can also call or text my telephone number. It is 404-819-4495, 404-819-4495. And we will be moving on. And this is another marketing piece I released this week, looking for a community expert and realtor. And so, yeah, I've already told you guys this about, me being in this business, for over 12 years. I'm hitting 13 next month. I do work with the purchase and sale of residential, commercial property, and land. So if you know anybody who wants to sell land, who has commercial property for sale and for lease, and then residential purchase and sale. And I do landlord representation. So if I have a party who wants to rent their house out, I definitely represent them in that capacity as well, just not with the people who are looking to rent a home, because I have buyers that I really have to get in home. So that's my 2 cents on that. Sellers. So I had an interesting conversation with one of my potential sellers that actually purchased the house for me. And I don't think they would mind, me giving this little story. And so they got an offer from one of the iBuyers out here. So of course they called me because they weren't sure, and we're like family. They know I'm gonna give them the real, I'm gonna give them the data, I'm gonna give them everything. And one of the things that sellers we discussed, and I have heard from more than one seller, the iBuyers, they kind of say, well, we'll give you this price and we'll charge you this fee. You don't have to do nothing. But, when we sat down and looked at the numbers, and we just kind of, hashed it out. We said, okay, let's look at these numbers. And I figured out, I said, well, gosh, if they're going to give you this amount, but you're only netting this amount, it seems like they charge you 6%. That's the same commission in real estate. So now I'm trying to figure out, as an iBuyer, if this transaction is one-sided, why are you charging the seller 6%? I don't think that, y'all haven't did 6% worth of work. I mean, just to protect the integrity of the real estate business, when we offer 6% as a commission, Trish doesn't get the entire 6%. It's split with my agent who brings me a buyer. And so if you don't have 2 agents who are feverishly working on one contract, it's not understood how, as an iBuyer, you would charge them 6%. So then when I started talking and investigating a little bit more, they were charging the seller the closing costs. So you're not getting off, scot-free. And they do have, someone from their asset team, asset managers and all this stuff. They come and they say, we're going to do an inspection, but it's not an inspection like an inspector would do. It's only one company, and that's one of the lease purchase companies that I know who does a very detailed inspection, like with an inspection company. So I was trying to figure out, I said, well, they sent somebody out here to look at the outside. The sellers took a video of the inside, but they're charging them the same fees that us real estate agents would charge you. And we would do 3 times more work than what the iBuyers are doing. So I understand that they may be telling you guys, you don't have to do anything, but you're paying them to do something that they're not even doing. And I know it seems easy. Well, I don't have to do any repairs, blah, 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 blah. But you want somebody who's going to be representing you and who's going to work within the confines of the real estate law and ethics to make sure that, a family is going in a home. Sometimes it's not all about selling to, somebody because they're going to just, jump out and buy the home, and then they're going to rent it out to somebody. But as a seller, and if it were me, and I can only do it, from my position, if I have an iBuyer who is asking to purchase my home, and I have the knowledge that real estate agents charge 6%, and they're charging me the same thing, they're going to have to compete with some more offers. I'm sorry. It's too many people out here who need a home. And I will honestly make them compete, because first of all, you're paying the closing costs. In the current real estate market, sellers are not paying closing costs. And if it's a one-sided transaction, why not accept 3%? Our buyers are companies, so they have employees. So technically, they don't have to be in confined with the real estate law, but the real estate law is what governs the real estate in Georgia. So they don't technically, have to go about placing their offer and all of that like we have to because of our ethics and our laws. However, they're charging you the same amount for doing half of the work. And for me, if it don't make dollars, it does not make sense. There's no way as a seller I will be giving them anything. I don't care how easy peasy they say that it is, or I don't have to do a repair, but I'm not paying closing costs either, because in this market, sellers aren't paying closing costs. So that was just interesting to me, and I don't want to jump on my soapbox about that, but just be careful as a seller. I know they, have been structuring you guys and telling you it's easy, no showings, no open houses, but you have to understand, if they don't have any competition within that contract, I've seen our buyers come back and they have given us the price that they wanted, that we wanted up front, and during the due diligence period, they tried to drop the price. So the money that you thought you were going to get, you're actually not going to get those funds, because their strategy is, okay, during the due diligence period, I'm going to drop that price. And so then what? You're going to be like, dang, if I would have put it on the market, I probably would have made a bigger profit. And so that's why I just, advise you guys, before you accept these iBuyer offers and these iBuyer deals, to consult a real estate agent. We have all the data for you to make a clear and clean decision. And at the end of the day, after I've done my consultation with you, my initial, and even done the listing appointment, if this is a better deal for you, I have no problem with saying, well, hey, you know what? This might be a better deal for you, based on the data. But if the data determines that they are going to have some competition, if you put that home on the market, then I say list it. You always having opportunities, to withdraw if it goes awry, or like, for instance, that home that was coming soon, it had 112 offers. So I would say, stick your foot in the water. It may take you, one weekend with saying, well, I'm not going to be there, so I'm going to let as many people who can show it, get in and get out, and I'm going to be ready to make a quick decision. I would definitely say to let that iBuyer have a little competition, because they're coming to you before you put it on the market for a reason, because they don't want to compete with other people. So just wanted to drop that tea on you on today, because that is what it is. Unfortunately, I just don't see, you're paying them for doing all of the work that we do. And it just becomes unnamed between signs and marketing and exposure alone. When I put your house on the market, it hits all the MLS systems, and it goes to Zillow, Realtor.com, any housing website, Keller Williams. We are connected to those sites. So when we impute them into the MLS, it sends it out. So for an iBuyer to sit at their desk all day and still get 6%, like I said before, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense, because at that point, that's a one-sided, one-person transaction. And so if you're going to pay double, at least have two people doing the work and getting you a bigger profit. And that's my 2 cents on that. We will keep moving because we are almost at our time. I don't want to go over an hour. So we're at 50 minutes. So we'll start wrapping it up. And for agents who are, you may be new. You may not be a new agent, but you just need a refresher. You're just like, girl, how are you doing it? How are you managing in this business? How are you keep going? How are you keeping your clients motivated? What's your strategy? I do offer consulting and training services. It's on my Calendly, and I will actually put the link to my Calendly in the box as well. But you just want a refresher. You just want to know how, I have different topics of, marketing, what to do, just different topics that we can discuss. And it's confidential, and you do have to pay. Now, I am reasonable because I don't believe, I'm willing to give the knowledge, but we understand that time is life's most precious commodity, and time is money. My fees, I have 30-minute slots, and I have 1 hour slot. It just really depends on what you need. I will say that whenever you do schedule an appointment, you get a free follow-up appointment, and whatever knowledge that I have concerning your concern, I give it to you, and I give it to you. I give you all of it, right? Nothing in life. When we started this off, when we were talking about the different strategies or resources for buyers. Nothing in life is free. And sometimes when you put some skin in the game, then you'll go out there and you'll get it done. If you know, hey, I had a consulting and training service with Trish. I've been watching her online. I've been watching her marketing. I've been watching how she's been going after her buyers and her sellers and blah, blah, blah. I want to learn how to do that. Sometimes when you put your own skin in the game, you will go out and do whatever that thing is that you need to do because you know that you paid for it. I know that if I go purchase something, then I'm going to take care of it. Whatever steps it said do, I'm going to do it if I put my own skin in the game. So this is what this is. And I understand the market that we're in. I understand that everybody has a budget, but invest in yourself. I take marketing classes. I take real estate instructional classes. All of them are not free, but they're an investment into my business. So other realtors, if you're new, you're upcoming, you need some help, or you've been out of the game for a while, you need a refresher, or you're in this market and you just like, Trish, help. How can I keep my mental sane? Hit me on the link with the consulting and training services. We can talk about it and do 30-minute to an hour time slots, y'all. It's nothing but $30. So, and that's for the, let me actually look at my fees before I quote them. But I tried to keep them nominal. You pay on PayPal. But for 30 minutes, it is $30. I'm looking at it right now. And for your hour consultation, it's $50. So $30 and $50, y'all spend that at Starbucks in a week. Let's be real and let's be clear. Y'all spend that at Starbucks in a week, y'all. If you say this week, I'm not going to get any Starbucks, but I'm going to invest in my real estate business. I'm going to pay Trish this $50 or this $30. And it's probably $50 because y'all be getting one of them good sandwiches too. The Gouda bacon on the ciabatta bread. That's my favorite. And you get a coffee. If you get that every day, you done spent $50 at Starbucks in a week. So instead of doing that, what we can do is just put that on your consulting and training services as you invest in yourself to become a better agent, because coffee is only going to take you so far. Coffee is only going to take you so far. You need the strategies and you need to know the work on how to lead gen, on what time to post. You need all of that. And I have thrown my services, my consultant and training services through my hat in the ring to assist you guys. You're going to get that knowledge from 12 plus years ago, but I'm willing to help you guys. But you got to put some skin in the game and invest in yourself. Well, that is all that I have for you guys today. This is my YouTube official commercial. I run it at the beginning of every live so that you guys can see it, so that you have it imprinted in your brain. Thank you so much for everybody who supports this business, who refers this business, who comes to us and asks us questions, who send us your mama, grandmama, your cousins, auntie, brother, sister. We thank you. We appreciate you. And we get on here every week to let you guys know what's going on with the current market. I know you're hearing stuff from the news, but I want you to hear it from the horse's mouth. We are out here working for you, sellers. We are working for you. We know how volatile the market is. We know that you're getting a lot of offers. It's a lot of information to dissect. That's why we're here. That's another reason why we say, even though it may seem like it's a lot, you'll end up with a bigger profit on the winning side. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. For those of you who will watch the replay, for those of you who support this real estate business, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. If you have any questions, please email us at info@trishsalesatl.com. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you guys on next week.